Buying a house can be extremely exciting, but it's also one of the most challenging decisions emotionally that you're ever gonna make. My name's Oscco, I'm a realtor here in Los Angeles, California, and today we're going through the Ultimate Buyer's Guide of 2024. We're gonna go through 8 steps to buying a home. And the first step is the easiest, and I call this step consideration. This is when you devise what your needs, your wants, and what your priorities are when you're looking for a home. Make sure you put in the needs what you actually need, and in the wants, understand that those are wants, and priorities are things that you cannot go without. And this is going to be important as you understand your purchase timeline. Because when it comes to real estate, timing is everything. Whether you're looking to purchase in the next 3 months or next year, it's a good time to figure out what your needs are right now, so when that house comes on the market, you're ready to go. Another part of the consideration phase is your financial planning, making sure your finances are right where you want them to be before you put an offer on a house. And this leads me to the last part of the consideration phase, our buyer agent agreement. When you're looking to buy a home, it's super important that you work with a realtor. A realtor has studied sales and negotiation tactics to make sure that you get the best price for the home that you're looking for. Statistically, it's proven that when you work with a realtor, you really do get more bang for your buck. 2, preparation phase. So now that you found your realtor, you've done all this planning, you know exactly what you're looking for a house. Let's say you're gonna buy in the next 3 months. What do I do now? Before you go shopping around, unless you're going all cash, you really need to know your budget for the home. And the best way to do that is to get pre-approved by a loan officer. A lot of loan officers have told me that when you get pre-approved, they're not actually hard pulling your credit. They do a soft pull to see what you're able to afford. And then when you're in escrow and you're ready to close, they'll do the hard pull there when they're actually ready to fund the loan. The preparation phase is also when you can look at property types and neighborhood pros and cons to make sure you know exactly what you're looking for when you go out into the marketplace. And for the next step, which is the most fun, is the searching phase. This is where you get to have a lot of fun, get out there, go search for your house, and it's a good time, in my opinion, to understand what the market actually looks like, how it is out there, how fast people are purchasing houses. So what I would recommend when you go out here, I know you want to go fast, I know you want to go see all the houses, calm down a little bit, pace yourself. Trust me on this, because there's a lot of houses that go into the market every single week, and taking the time out of your work schedule, out of your day, just to go see houses every single week can be time consuming. Exciting, but time consuming. So this is going to take us to our next phase. Once we find the house we wish to buy, we're like, okay, we found it, this is it, I think I want to put in an offer. Step 4, the offer. Once you find the house that you like, this is when having a realtor really helps you out, because this is where you start negotiating the terms and the price of the home. And you can go ahead and put together the best package you possibly can in your offer and send it over to the listing agent to see if the owner of the house accepts your offer. In some instances, there can be counter offers, which could put you into a bidding war, or there might be some changes that they need to make in the contract to make sure it makes sense for the owner. But aside from that, once they accept your offer, you get to open escrow. Now, I get a lot of questions on what escrow actually is, because when I first started in real estate, I had no idea what escrow was. And everyone that I knew that was buying a house kept on saying, oh, I'm in escrow, I opened escrow. What's escrow? Let me explain it to you. Escrow is a pretty simple concept. If you have a seller and you have a buyer, someone's trying to sell something and someone's trying to buy that something, in any sort of transaction, and you've probably had this happen when you go to the store. You grab something, you grab some food, you go to the checkout line, you pay for it, and there's a transaction there. Now, that transaction is fairly simple. Pack of gum, $2. But when you're looking at a transaction that can be millions and millions and millions of dollars, and there's a lot of technicalities in there, there's a lot of things that can happen in that transaction that need to be checked. And so what escrow is, you have the seller and the buyer. Escrow is like this third party that comes on in. So you have the seller, the buyer, and escrow that's going to hold all of those documents together. They're going to hold all of the terms of the deal, all the documents, and all the money, and make sure that when everything's said and done, they'll go ahead and do the whole transaction and that nothing's lost. So when escrow opens, this is when you get to start your due diligence period as well. And due diligence is pretty simple. It's basically when you inspect the home, you make sure everything's good, you're making sure the home actually appraises for your loan amount. That's very, very important, by the way. And you also make sure that all the disclosures are intact, and there's nothing left to do in the home. And then you can release your contingencies, which are the stipulations that you put into place to say, hey, I made sure that all these things were good, so I'm going to release my contingencies. So once you release all your contingencies, you've done your due diligence, the property's in good condition, hey, we can move on to the next step. Step 7, the week before closing. Now, the week before closing, you get to do your final walkthrough and inspect the property. Just make sure that everything that you did your due diligence on is still good and nothing major has changed for the property. You're going to make sure that your loan has funded, and you're going to sign and review any final documents that you need to sign and make sure everything is good to go. Once you're done with that and you wait for that final week, then we finally get to closing. The day of closing is so much fun. Escrow lets you know, hey, guess what? Everything's good to go, and the transaction happens. All of the terms of the seller, all the terms of the buyer go across. Cash has been exchanged. Closing costs have been paid. Keys are in your hand, and now you get to move in. And understanding this whole entire process, I know it seems like a lot, but I promise you it's not as hard as it is. It's consideration, preparation, search, offer, escrow, due diligence, the week before closing, and your closing day. Now, if you're interested in learning more about the financial side of things when it regards a loan officer on how much money you need to have to put down, how much you need in your savings account, what the true monthly cost of your home is going to be, including property taxes, stay tuned because I'm going to drop a video with a lender to explain to you guys all the financial parts of the buying process. Thank you guys so much for watching. It's been a pleasure, and I'll catch you guys next time.